She doesn't roar, she rises. With fists wrapped in purpose and a heart forged in fire, Katie Taylor didn't just step into boxing's biggest arenas. She redefined what greatness looks like inside them. Olympic gold medalist, undisputed lightweight champion, and two-weight world champion. She didn't climb through the noise. She elevated the sport with timeless talent and unwavering discipline. Her style? Clean, calculated, and quietly brutal. She glides with rhythm, strikes with precision, and remains calm in chaos. Always composed, always in control. Outside the ropes, she's humble and reserved. But when the bell rings, she becomes a storm in silence. All grit, all fire, all legacy. So, before we step into the rise, the reign, and the remarkable journey of Katie Taylor, smash that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell. Because this isn't just boxing, it's greatness, wrapped in gloves and guided by grace. Born on July 2nd, 1986, in the coastal town of Bray, Ireland, Katie Taylor wasn't born into glory, but she was born to fight. Raised in a modest home with 3 older siblings and coached by her father, a former Irish boxing champion, she spent her childhood slipping between football pitches and boxing gyms. She was quiet, focused, and fierce, training behind closed doors in a world that barely recognized women's boxing. But that was about to change. Before she ever threw a punch as a professional, Katie had already built one of the most decorated amateur careers in history. 5-time world champion, 6 European golds, 5 EU titles, and the crown jewel, Olympic gold at London 2012. That moment wasn't just a win. It was a revolution. Turning pro in 2016, she wasted no time. By 2017, she was a world champion. By 2019, she stood undefeated and undisputed, holding all 4 major belts, WBA, WBC, IBF, and WBO, after a gritty war with Delfine Persoon at Madison Square Garden. And just when the world thought she'd peaked, she did it again, becoming a 2-weight undisputed champion in 2023 by defeating Chantelle Cameron on home soil. Her 2022 fight against Amanda Serrano didn't just break records. It made history as the first women's main event at Madison Square Garden, earning Fight of the Year honors and cementing her place as the face of women's boxing. As of 2025, her net worth is estimated to be around $5 million, built from title fights, endorsements, and pure grit. But how she rise to become a global warrior, an Irish icon, and a trailblazer for women in sport. That story starts now. Long before sold-out arenas, gold belts, and the roar of thousands chanting her name, Katie Taylor was just a quiet girl slipping into boxing gyms where she didn't belong. At least, not according to the world around her. The gloves were too big, the expectations too small. But she wasn't just learning how to punch. She was learning how to change history. Her father, Pete Taylor, a former Irish light heavyweight champion, had turned a simple boathouse into a crucible of champions. And it was there that Katie's story began. She blazed through the amateur ranks like a storm and the pride of a nation when she carried Ireland's flag into the 2012 London Olympics. That same summer, she captured the first ever Olympic gold medal in women's lightweight boxing. She wasn't just winning. She was carving out a place where women's boxing had barely been allowed to exist. In 2016, Katie did the unthinkable. She turned professional. No headgear, no safety net, just the brutal reality of prize fighting, where politics hit as hard as punches and respect must be earned with every round. But she wasn't interested in slow climbs. She debuted with a 3rd-round TKO in London and set her sights on the top. In just her 7th fight, she captured the WBA lightweight title by outclassing Inoue Esther Sanchez. The following year, she added the IBF belt, defeating Victoria Bustos in a masterclass of control and volume. In 2018, she unified titles by defeating Jessica McCaskill, a rising powerhouse who would go on to become a champion in her own right. That win proved Katie wasn't just the face of women's boxing. She was its future. But her first defining moment as a pro came in June 2019. Madison Square Garden. Opposite her stood Belgium's Delfine Persoon, a relentless, undefeated brawler. What followed was a war. 10 savage rounds that blurred the lines between courage and chaos. Blood, sweat, roars from the crowd. It felt like the garden itself was holding its breath. Katie fought through pressure, fatigue, and pain, weaving footwork with heart. The judges gave her a razor-thin majority decision. Controversial? Maybe, but it didn't matter. She had become the undisputed lightweight champion of the world, one of only a handful in boxing history to unify all 4 major titles. Most fighters would stop there. Katie didn't. In November 2019, she moved up in weight to face Christina Lenarditu for the WBO super lightweight crown. The challenge was steep. Heavier hands, a new pace, but Katie adapted like water. Over 10 precise rounds, she captured the belt and became a 2-weight world champion. Her name now echoed beyond boxing. She was a national hero, a world figure, a symbol of resilience. Then came Amanda Serrano, 7-division champion, knockout artist, the most anticipated women's fight in history. Scheduled first for 2020, the pandemic postponed their clash, but it only made the anticipation grow. Finally, on April 30th, 2022, they met again at Madison Square Garden, the first women's bout to ever headline the historic venue. What unfolded was more than a fight. It was an epic. 10 rounds of war. Katie battered, Amanda relentless. The final bell rang with both women standing, chests heaving, eyes blazing. Katie had been rocked. She had bled, but she never broke. And when the judges read the split decision in her favor, history was made again. The bout was instantly hailed as one of the greatest fights, men or women, of all time. By 2023, Katie returned to where it all began, Dublin, her first professional fight on Irish soil. The opponent? Chantelle Cameron, unbeaten, undisputed at super lightweight. The atmosphere was electric, and the result? Crushing. Cameron fought like a mirror of Katie, disciplined, aggressive, sharp. That night, Katie suffered her first professional defeat. But this wasn't the end. Not for Katie Taylor. She took the loss, studied it, and prepared for redemption. 6 months later, the rematch was signed. Same venue, same stakes. But this time, Katie came in not just as a fighter, but as a force of reckoning. For 10 rounds, she showed the world why she's special. Grit, timing, heart. This time, the decision went her way. She was undisputed again, in 2 divisions. Then came November 15th, 2024, a second clash with Amanda Serrano, this time at AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. The bright lights, the crowd of thousands, and all the belts on the line again. WBA, WBC, IBF, WBO, IBO, in the ring. Katie fought with the poise of a legend and the fire of a rookie chasing greatness. Serrano came forward like a storm, but Katie answered with crisp counters and relentless pressure. After 10 grueling rounds, the judges delivered a unanimous decision. Katie had done it again, silenced doubts, conquered critics, and defended her crown. Katie Taylor's professional record now stands at 25 fights, 24 wins, just 1 loss. She's headlined cards that changed the way the world sees women's boxing. And she's done it all with a quiet fire that never demands attention, but always commands it. Fights like her 2020 rematch with Persoon, where she left no doubt. Her 2018 domination of Cindy Serrano. The unification bout with McCaskill. And those epic wars with Amanda Serrano. Moments that belong to the sport's most treasured chapters. But now, with titles in both hands and nearly every milestone achieved, we're left with a question. What drives her now? Outside the ring, she is a mystery wrapped in silence. A champion whose greatest battles may have been fought far from the spotlight. For all her glory inside the ropes, Katie has crafted a life of deliberate privacy, choosing solitude over celebrity. She's not married, has no children, and doesn't entertain the gossip that so often trails stars of her caliber. She said it plainly, her life is boxing. With her siblings by her side and prayer always in her corner, Katie's world is rooted in loyalty and belief. She doesn't need to post it or prove it. It's in the way she walks to the ring, alone, but never truly alone. Who is Katie Taylor when the world isn't watching? That's the part of her story still unfolding. Most world champions are loud without saying a word. Mansions, supercars, designer flashes. But Katie Taylor? She walks the other way. For someone who's headlined Madison Square Garden and made millions with her fists, her lifestyle feels almost invisible. And maybe that's the point. She splits her time between her quiet hometown of Bray, Ireland, and a modest setup in Vernon, Connecticut, where the only luxury is solitude and sweat. Her days revolve around training, prayer, and the kind of discipline that doesn't make headlines but forges legends. She's never been seen stepping out of a Lamborghini. No flashy Instagram stories, no tours of opulent mansions. Just a quiet car, a clean gym, and a purpose that runs deeper than any spotlight. Outside the ring, Katie puts her power behind causes that matter. Fighting for youth, mental health, and those battling motor neuron disease. And of course, her voice has never wavered when it comes to women's boxing. She didn't just win in the ring, she made sure women had a place there to begin with. Before you go, don't miss out on exclusive perks. Click the link in the description to become a channel member and enjoy awesome benefits, like suggesting future video topics, getting early access to new content 48 hours before anyone else, and much more. Your support means the world and helps us keep bringing you the stories you love. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, drop a comment, and subscribe for more amazing content. And while you're here, why not check out our deep dive into Amanda Serrano's video? Trust me, you won't want to miss it. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.